What is up, my friends? Welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and man, we have something to talk about. AMD has decided to delay the RDNA 4 9070 XT and 9070X or 9070 till March of 2025. Now, I know this is not the information you were looking for. Obviously, if you're an AMD fan and you're standing behind AMD, you were absolutely excited and you wanted to know more about these GPUs as soon as possible. I know that this is not what you wanted to hear, and I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. But what I don't understand is all the NVIDIA bros, fake outrage, trying to show us that they're concerned citizens about what AMD is doing. Now, if we look back and we listen to all of the rhetoric, always, when it comes to AMD, AMD needs to lower the prices, AMD needs to do this, why are they doing this, why are they following NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah. We listen to this stuff all the time, okay? And I'm sick and tired of getting beat over the head with this stuff. Well, AMD, apparently they are taking this very seriously. NVIDIA made some very bold claims with the 50 series Blackwell GPUs. They did. Even I am intrigued enough to buy a 5080 to put those claims to the test. And as I've been doing recently for the last couple of weeks, is going through these games that I own on my GPU and testing out frame generation to see if this is even really something that people are going to care about. Because obviously we went through the whole 4000 series generation. Nobody was talking about frame generation. Nobody cared about it. Even I tried it on the 4080 Super, 4070, and 4070 Super, and it just was kind of lackluster. It wasn't really that great of a feature. And now we fast forward to the launch of 2025 for NVIDIA and AMD, and NVIDIA is doubling down on that. Now, I did, out of curiosity, watch the special that Alex Battaglia from Digital Foundry did with Brian Catazano or something, talking about DLSS 4 and the other stuff. And I will tell you that when I watched Brian, and I'm looking at him explaining this stuff, I get it now. I 100% get it. His job, okay, is to create an AI algorithm and just that will 100% like blow you away. Now, I reached out to Brian over on Twitter to see if he would answer a couple of questions for me, because I have a couple of questions. And there's some things that like if DLSS could have like a dual way that they run, you know, like that sharp, crisp image quality that everybody likes, but also have a second algorithm or a choice that would introduce like this more softer looking image quality that what I always talk about. So I was asking him if that's even possible. Is that something that they could look into? He hasn't reached back out to me yet. And then I asked him about like frame generation and where he actually sees frame generation going in terms of, or if, how can AI propel frame generation into a better place? Now, when I look at what I'm getting with the AMD 7900 XTX, just using fluid motion frames 2 and regular frame generation, for the most part, I'm coming to the conclusion that like, okay, this actually works pretty decently. Like this actually is very convincing. So if there's a way that we can fix this, or not even fix it, like right now it's actually playable on a very good percentage of games. Like it actually does a pretty good job. So I don't necessarily know if it needs to be fixed, but there are certain types of games that frame generation is just not really an option. When you start talking about playing games online and you start talking about competitive shooters and stuff like that, frame generation, I don't know if I would really trust that just yet. I don't know if it's really there. But with AMD deciding to delay these cards till March and give themselves enough time for all of the NVIDIA GPUs, you know, from the 5070 to the 5070 Ti, 48 or 5080 and 5090 to launch. That gives AMD enough time to sit back, you know, whenever they come out in February, to acquire those cards themselves, and then to run and test against all of these GPUs and find the right price point that is going to allow AMD to recoup the money for the research development costs and stuff like that. Or even just build like a 5090 Challenger. I mean, like a 99 or a 9090 XT X or something, you know, you never know, man. They said multiple GPUs in the little thing that they posted on Twitter today. They have a wide assortment of GPUs that they're going to be bringing to us. So you never know. Maybe they were just holding those cards like really close to their chest and only letting the 9070 XT show it off a little bit, you know, and get some like hype building around it. Maybe AMD does really have something up their sleeves. Maybe they really are going to compete in the high end. You never know. Like we're just speculating. And, you know, with so many leaks and so much nonsense out there in the world, in the PC space, guys. And now with everybody just running wild with, oh man, NVIDIA or AMD's finished and they just took a massive L and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, what if, like, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Because AMD is a business. Obviously, they have overhead, they have costs, they have all of the same things that NVIDIA has to pay for, but with a lot less money to do that. So you guys are asking AMD to always like, hey man, you need to take a cut on your GPUs and blah 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 and everything. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, why? I purchased AMD GPUs. I use them as my daily driver. I absolutely freaking love the Adrenaline software and the experience that I get from AMD. How is that any worse than what I would get from NVIDIA? I use more AMD features than I used NVIDIA features. And when it came down to it, I kept the AMD card over the 4070 or the 4080 Super. I felt like that was a better card for me to keep, and I just was not wanting to, you know, a PCB board. I didn't want to crack a PCB board, so I just sold it to somebody that's going to use it and enjoy that and love that experience. I didn't say anything bad about the 40 series cards. I actually liked the 40 series cards. I thought they were decent cards, good amount of VRAM, 16 gigabytes for the 4080 was. I thought it's fine. It should have been more, but you know. When you buy an NVIDIA GPU, you just expect to pay a tax. Like you expect to pay an NVIDIA tax. you do. And that's pretty much the conclusion that I've come to. I don't hate NVIDIA, I just prefer AMD. And you know, if that makes me a fanboy, whatever. Obviously the people that call me a fanboy for preferring AMD are clearly fanboys themselves because they can't see how could this guy like AMD? Like how could you like NVIDIA? Like what does NVIDIA do for you, my friends? I mean, obviously it didn't blow my socks off. Let me just put it this way. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I was actually talking to somebody on Discord today, you know, about the NVIDIA stuff, you know? And like they've been at the channel for a very, very long time. So I trust and I respect their opinion. I do. We've talked a lot on Discord, you know, and DM and stuff like that. And, you know, he said to me, and it kind of rings true. He's like, look, man, when I got my 4090, I put it in, and about a week later, I just was not excited anymore. It was just like my GPU. And it is what it is. And see, I have that very same experience with NVIDIA. I'll put it in there. I'm hyped. I'm super hyped. The honeymoon phase is like, woo, gosh, for, you know, a week, maybe. I mean, I think the 4070 Super lasted like 2 weeks. That card was an absolute beast. I freaking love that card. It was so beautiful. And so I had a very hard time getting rid of that one. And like, I love that card, but I knew that experience was just not going to be what I wanted it to be long term. And so instead of like keeping it and bashing it, and I didn't want it to turn into something like I was going to start bashing the 4070 Super, because that was an awesome card. I love that. But I mean, the honeymoon phase lasted about 2 weeks, okay? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that just rings so true to me, because it's like, I get an NVIDIA card, like I'm really hyped, I'm really excited about it, and then boom, just like all the magic just wears off, and it's like, okay. And I've said this before, I really do think it has to do with just how the image quality looks with DLSS on NVIDIA GPUs. It looks pretty like clinical, like sharp, and I don't necessarily like that look with all my games. I do on some, but I don't like it with all of them. And so I look at that and I'm just like, oh man, like I get it. Like I'm just not, because it's, for me, guys, it's always been about the video games and the way the games look and the way that they're wowing me and blowing me away. That DLSS and that sharpness and that clinical look just kind of takes all of that away from me, to where I'm just like, okay, yeah, I mean, that looks good, but it just wears off because everything just kind of looks the same across multiple different video games. So I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, yeah, I mean, obviously they're playable and I could play them and all of that stuff and they look just fine or whatever, but it just kind of wears off. Whereas with AMD, my friends, and I've said this multiple times, I've been using AMD for like 18 months and I'm still in the honeymoon phase. Like, I still love it. I still get wowed and blown away every single day. Every time I turn it on and play a game, I'm just blown away. Like, I'm absolutely mesmerized by just how beautiful the image quality looks on the AMD GPUs. Now, I don't know how to explain it, my friends, and I've tried to show you. I've tried to be earnest about it. I've tried to be honest. I've tried to be upfront and not play any games. I've tried to be honest about it. I've tried to just show you my experience, and I think a lot of you do resonate with it. That's the thing. I think a lot of people absolutely resonate with that, and they're like, okay, that makes sense, Frog. And then you try it, and you're like, oh my gosh, dude, this is actually true. It works, and it's incredible. And then you have the people that are, they're never gonna try AMD. They don't care. In their mind, AMD is absolute freaking garbage. And that's fine. Have whatever feelings you want about AMD, but I feel like you're cheating yourself out of knowing for yourself exactly what you like and what you don't like. And that sucks. I feel like there's a lot of people that just go through life not thinking for themselves and you know, like just letting, you know, the hype and everything carry them and whatever else. And that's fine. That's fine. Like, I'm not here to try to, let's just put it this way. I don't really ever want to make you feel bad about a product that you use. I don't. That's not my intentions. When people reach out to me on the thing and they're like, hey, Frog, I just got a 4070 Super and like this card's awesome. And I'm like, hell yeah, man, that's a good card. I like that card. I didn't have any real issues with it. It just didn't fit my needs in like where it was. I'm definitely more toward the top. And I told you guys when I started that I would be toward the top pretty quick. And like nobody believed me. Can I game on a mid-range? Absolutely. Absolutely. I easily can. I mean, that PlayStation 5 Pro is a humbling experience for me. I got a video coming up for that. Like, you guys don't want to miss that one. That one's going to be pretty good. But that was a pretty humbling experience for me to check out the PlayStation 5 Pro. So, all right, guys. I know that I ramble in these videos, but obviously it gives me some good watch time. I know there's a lot of you that are committed. You watch these videos all the way through, and I absolutely love that. And like, it's good to be able to get these points across and to talk about them, because I sit and I think about this stuff and I think about it and I think about it. And I just want to help those of you that want to PC game find the best experience, period. Like, that's what I want to see you do. Now, yes, there are some features from NVIDIA that you do leave on the table. And you know, like sometimes, guys, it really does feel like with games being, you know, having like the GPU manufacturer's branding in there, that does sometimes affect the experience for the other brand. For real, it does. And that really sucks. That's something that I wish would absolutely not be a part of PC gaming. I really hate it. I would much rather see NVIDIA or AMD actually build an exclusive game for their platform instead of you know, trying to have third-party developers do all the work for them. I would much rather see AMD and NVIDIA build their own games and show us, because I feel like a lot of these tech demos that were shown by NVIDIA, they look awesome. They look absolutely incredible, but I think we're still waiting for the tech demos from the 3000 series to actually appear in our freaking video games. We get all hyped for those. We do. We get hyped. We watch those. And then that fuels our hype. And then we're out there buying this stuff. And it's always premature. Like, it's always premature. And I literally believe that we're still waiting for the 30 series demos, tech demos, to actually appear in our freaking games. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then they show us all this neural rendering from NVIDIA, the multi-frame generation, all of these new cool features that are coming out. And it's like, look, I'll buy your 5080, whatever. I like that. I thought that looked pretty cool. Like, I was sold. Like, when I saw all that, I was sold. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm definitely excited about getting a 50 series NVIDIA card. I mean, even though I bought a 30 and sold it, even though I bought a 40 and sold it, now I'm gonna get a 50 because I was wooed by what they showed me. I was wooed, and like, it doesn't matter what anybody says, like, I'm gonna buy it because I wanna see that for myself. I don't need somebody to tell me what to like and what not to like. I'm gonna be able to do that by myself. I can see with my very own two eyes what I like and what I don't like. So yeah, I'm gonna buy that, and I'm gonna cover it as fair as possible. You know, I mean, if it woos me and blows me away, cool. Like, you will know about it. I don't think I've ever been shy about shouting from the rooftops about stuff I like and what I love. I mean, clearly, PlayStation 5 Pro has impressed me, so I've been happy about it, and I've made video content about it. I know that you guys just wanted a hype video about AMD's 9070 XT being delayed, and I'm sorry, but you know, I figured that this was a good time to, like, you know, maybe talk about some of this stuff. But yeah, guys, AMD, wow. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Do you think they're doomed, or do you think they're being smart by putting off or holding back? Do you think AMD is being smart by holding back until NVIDIA cards have all been launched, and then studying those cards and finding the perfect price point so that they can capitalize on the investments that they've made into the GPU market? Do you think that is fair? I personally do. Now, I know that a lot of people are probably going to be like, no, Frog, they got to do it. They've got stock on the store shelves and all of this stuff. And I'm like, look, guys, I don't, like, does it really even matter at this point? Does it really matter? What do we want from AMD? What do we want? This is what you need to ask yourself. What do we want? Do we want them to give us a fair price? Absolutely. Do we want them to compete power-wise with NVIDIA's GPUs? Absolutely. Do we want to feel good about a purchase when we buy an AMD GPU? Yes, of course. So what is the problem? If it takes an extra couple of months for them to fully study their competition, price their products accordingly, I really don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. It is what it is. I've already committed to buying a 5080. I'll buy my 5080. That just gives me more time to spend with the 5080, really covering that, really taking my time and, like, okay, sitting back, doing everything that I need to do with that GPU before the 9070 XT comes out. Now I absolutely, like, I feel so much better right now. That, like, relieved me of feeling like super freaking stressed out about having to buy a 5080 and then pull it out, put it in, and then get the 9070 XT, you pull that out. Like, I'm actually like, whoo, man, I feel, that takes a lot of stress away. Now I can actually cover the 5080 without having the distraction of the 9070 XT sitting in my head. Now I can just fully cover that, embrace and explore that experience, and try to, yeah, guys, I want to try to enjoy it. Like, I want to try to enjoy these experiences so I can bring you better freaking content. I want to. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be divisive. I really don't. I don't want to be a divisive content creator. But I do. I get caught up, man, when people are saying not mean things about my AMD. I don't like that. It makes me feel sad. So I fight back. And I know I should be more professional, and I shouldn't really do that, but I stand my ground, man. Look, I've said it before. If NVIDIA made the best product, hands down, no questions asked, I would have an NVIDIA GPU. But AMD's feature set just kind of makes me a lot happier, so I use AMD. So, all right, guys, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. AMD delaying their freaking GPU launch to wait for NVIDIA. All of the freaking benchmarks will be out. They'll be out. And those videos, just, those are like when you're like, benchmark, those are the ones that pop up, the very first ones. And so it's not like, I mean, it's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to go back and, like, no, man, there's nothing. Like, what do they do? Once those NVIDIA GPUs launch with those benchmarks, oh no, that's what's out there. That's what's out there, my friends. And then if AMD comes out after that and be like, damn, that 5070 Ti is, boy, man, that thing looks like a 60 series card. This is our 70 series card. You know what I mean? And it's like way better. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's and it's cheaper, Like, oh boy. Oh, I don't know, man. I think AMD is smart by doing this. I do think that they kind of have to do it this way, honestly, because they need to get the pricing right on these, and they need to get all the software, all of FSR4 and everything. Yeah, guys. Sorry about the long video. You know, I have to kind of, you know, make the video because after going through and editing all this and stuff and adding in all the other video and stuff, it takes a while. So I like to make my videos a little bit longer so that we can talk and so that you guys can listen. Because sometimes I'll start thinking about something, and then when I stop the video and I'm still thinking about stuff, and then so I just try to give myself enough time. I know I know every once in a while I get those comments that people are like, what the freak are you doing, man? But I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. We got new GPUs coming out. This is exciting. We've never seen this before. We got AMD literally freaking like holding back and like, no, man, we're not showing you nothing. We're not. We'll show Digital Foundry performance mode FSR 4. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is gonna be an incredibly hilarious freaking GPU launch, man. NVIDIA coming out with all of that stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, is NVIDIA tone deaf, bro? Like, I kind of feel like they are. They're like, yeah, DLSS, and multi-frame generation, and this and this and this, and it's like, dude, who gives a crap about all that? We just want power. And they're like, oh, but you're gonna need AI, and it's like, really, man? Like, oh. They're like, yeah, man, you get a 10% upgrade and you get an AI and it'll be able to run like a 4090 and stuff. And I'm like, really, bro? Really? Cool. But to be fair to NVIDIA, I have been testing frame generation and it is pretty damn convincing. And if they can pull it off and make it good, okay, that's a win. That's an absolute win. Because the addressable market, the casual gamers, the ones that are actually going to buy this stuff and eat it up and not ask questions, if it impresses them, boom, that's all that matters. That is all that matters. And yeah, NVIDIA's got a pretty strong case there. If they can get more out of their GPUs for less, that's not bad. That's not bad, my friends. That's not bad at all. And you should take them serious. You should take that serious because it is serious, man. A lot of people out there will just buy. NVIDIA's namesake and market share is so strong that people will literally just buy that stuff, turn it on, and be like, it's great. Like they did with DLSS. They're like, oh man, it's better than native. Man, I've looked at native and I've looked at freaking DLSS quality and all of that stuff, and I'm like, no, native still looks better to me. It still looks better to me. So yeah, whatever you guys got to tell yourself about frame, or whatever they got to tell themselves about frame generation, the casual gamer will do that. Like they don't care. They just want to be hyped. And you know, and that's fine. That's fine. They should be. You should be hyped about the products you buy so that you will love them and respect them and take better care of them. That's fine. That's something that you should do. And if people are negative about the thing that you like, you don't necessarily need to interact with them. You don't. Like, just kind of blow it off. You know, be happy about the products you buy. Even if I like something different than you, be happy about the products you buy. If you love NVIDIA, cool, absolutely incredible. I am happy for you. If you love AMD, awesome. I'm happy for you too. Am I a fanboy of either one? Not necessarily. I can play games on either one and be happy. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank! Why even fight that battle for more dragons! Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?